Hey guys, welcome back to my another video. In this video, let's talk about the signal. What is a signal? So a signal is basically the state in an application level where you want to keep a track of it. It doesn't need to be an application, but it will keep track of it, for what's really going on that signal. So basically, signal is kind of like state or a variable, you can say, in the application level where you want to keep track of it, if it's been updated, deleted, or it's been even not. So now that's what the signal is, very straightforward. So now let's see how we can create it. Okay, there are two type of signal. One is a readable and another is a writable. The both way is the same way, exact way to create it, but only the interface is different. So now let's create something called a food, and basically, as we know, in Angular we create something, declare our primitive type, something like food, like string, like that. And here we can insert something called dumpling, like that. That's why how we can declare it, right? And how we want to see it in HTML, well, you can directly define a food, something like that, right? So if I go check it here, we'll see a dumpling here. So basically, this is my home component on the bottom of it. This is my header. Don't worry about header now. This is only the home component. Okay, so that's what we see. Let me zoom it a little bit. Yeah, so this is my home component on the bottom. That's what we see, and we see as a food. So that's what it is. That's how we can directly declare our primitive types. Now let's change this to signal. To change this to signal, we can define something called signal, and signal is a function where we have to declare it from Angular core here. So it's a function, so we have to tell that it's a function. So whatever function it is, we can also put our the type of it. It's basically is a string, that's it. And now we will give the value of it. Well, we must need to provide the value, otherwise it will not even work. So we must need to provide the value, something called dumpling. I know it's giving an error. The reason why is telling this as a signal, sorry, the string. So instead of string, we need to change this to signal. So we'll tell that, okay, this is a signal of what? Signal of string. Okay, so now if we do a signal of a string and we initiated the signal of string, then dumpling, then we will see something called function like producer, access, node, something like that. This is how, because it's declared as a food. Whenever we declare as a signals, we have to declare a parenthesis, the function. So now we will see as a dumpling. That's the value of it, of the signal, and we see the signal. That's the easy way to create it. And that's how we can create the signal. It's very straightforward. If I create another signal called price, then I'll just change as a price here. But for a price one, maybe the string, I'll change as a number here. And well, the number of the price would be, or maybe a 10. So maybe the price of dumpling is $10. So we'll just declare as a 10. So now if I go here, and if I do here the line break here, and if I do as a price here as a function, so now we'll see a 10 here on the bottom of it. Dumpling 10, that's what it is. Okay, so I'll just put it as a food here, just for make our life a little easier, just to see what's really going on, as we know. So if I do as a price, then we'll see as a price, the price of the food is a dumpling, the price is the 10. That's it. That's what we see here, and it's going to show up here if I save it here. Yep, that's what we see. And that's how we can create a signal. So this is a readable signal. So this is, we can only able to read it, we're not able to write it down. So just to write it down, basically is the same way to create it. After initiating, we just need to change this, the type of it. So the type will be a writable signal. If we want to write, means we want to update or we want to set it. So if I do a writable signal, not stream, see a writable signal, and if I change the writable signal, so basically now it changed to writable signal. Before we have a signal readable, this is a writable. So now here we can able to update it. So now whenever we click some maybe a button, then we wanna update this. That's what we're gonna do. So to create maybe a button, I'll create one button here on the top of it. And maybe we'll say as a, I'm using the prime ng, so I can use a p button, or just for example it's fine, because here is a button, and here's maybe in the button we will create some action and the event, and that event is a on change signal, something like that, just for fun for now. Okay, so I'll just copy this guy, and whenever we click the button event here, let's say click, and we can trigger this one. Okay, so whenever button is a click, then we can trigger this function and we're gonna update this. So for a food one, maybe for this food, now there is a two function to update. The one is a set, the another is the update. If I create this as a signal only as my type, then the update and set would not work. There is no update, no set. if I go update, there is no update, there is no set. So if I change it to writable, then we can able to do a set or update, right? So set is basically we are all overriding this one, the main of it. The update means we are only updating couple of it, or we are only updating this part. We will for update we will also get the previous state of it. I'll show you the example how the update work, but let's go for a set part. So in the food we want to override this everything. So instead of dumpling, maybe we want to give some provide something called sandwich, right? We'll do something called sandwich. That's what we do. So whenever you click the button, the food will be changed to sandwich. Very straightforward. For price, maybe we want to update it, right? We want to update it. We want to get the previous of the dumpling, and let's say that sandwich is a little expensive than this, so we'll just say we'll get the price of a dumpling, which is this one. That's how we can able to get it, the previous state, or previous pre value, whatever the pre value of the price. The pre value of price is dumpling is 10, so this pre would be a 10. So if I get a 10 plus, we will update into plus we're gonna update with the $5, so basically it's going to be a 15. So now let's do this. So if I click the button down, the food will be changed to a sandwich and the price would be 15. Yep, the food will be changed to the sandwich and the price will be a 15, because that's how it works. Now update, we'll get the pre, and we'll get a pre plus value. That's what it is. So that's a very straightforward function where we can do a set and update to our writable signal. So now let's go for computed one. So let's say we have a total, and the people maybe order a 10 quantity of a sandwich, or 10 quantity of each of dumpling and sandwich, and we want to compute it. Well, we have something called computed function which we can use, and computed function, and computed should be also come from the Angular core. So we need to import it from computed here. So once we get the computed, so basically it's a calculation value, and it shouldn't be like this. It should be equal computed value, and in the computed one we want to get the price of it. To get the price, we'll use as a parenthesis of the price, and people might order 10. So if I do a total computed price multiplied 10, then total will be the first would be for a dumpling, which is going to be 10 multiplied 10, which is going to be 100. And later on, when I click the button, then it's going to be 15. 15 multiplied by 10 is a 150, so it's going to be 150. So if I print it out, the total as well, I'll just copy this one and change this to total, and change this to total. That's it, straightforward. So this is by computed, and this too is a signal. So now the first would be a dumpling, as we know, and we have a 10 value of price, 10, and total is basically 10 multiplied by 10 is a 100, right? That's what you see. So if I click the button, so now it will be a sandwich, and it will be changed, and the computed will be changed as well to 150. So computed basically is to keep tracking of all the signal, and whatever signal has been changed, right, then it will be a computed, basically calculating and show the value. So that's how the computed work. It's very straightforward. And the last function which I'm going to show is effect. So if I go in my constructor, and if I create something called effect, so effect is basically if anything happen on our state, then effect will be print. That's it. So if I go for this dot food, and if I print it out, and sorry, the food of this, this dot food of this, then the effect will be printed as a dumpling at first. So if I click the button, then it will give a sandwich. If I click the button, then it's keep printing a sandwich. It's not keep printing a sandwich because the state has been changed. So whenever the state has been, wherever they change it, then we can able to see the what's really going on using the effect function. That's what is effect. So that's a very straightforward to creating a signal into the Angular using for a primitive types. I'm going to also create another video for object one. For this video is only for primitive types. So that's a very straightforward. I hope you guys like it, and thank you very much for watching, guys, and bye for now.